individual in the US who lived in New York who really wanted to be an actor. Now, there was a mistake that was done by the surgeons while his mother was giving birth, and so there was a small cleft palate problem and there was a facial deformity that he had, because of which he was always teased and bullied and said to be someone that was not really that good looking. Now, he had a passion to become an actor, and he kept going back and trying to be an actor in so many different studios. Now, this person, yes, he was married, he had a dog, but chose not to really take up a job, saying, I want to be an actor. In fact, a lot of times when spoken, he says that he has been to so many studios, that he has tried about 1500 times. And when asked that you don't have 1500 studios in New York, he used to say, I went back 2 to 3 to 4 times every week to the same places saying, hey, I want to be an actor. Do you have a role for me? His passion and his interest in never giving up, unfortunately, cost him his house and slowly cost him his wife. He was so uni-focused that he was out on the road living alone with his dog, and finally, with no money to feed himself or feed his dog, he sold his dog in front of an old inn, a tavern. He sold his dog for $25 so that he could have a little bit of money to spend a few more days, and kept going back and making trips asking for roles to be able to act. One day, as his money kept dwindling down, as he was sleeping on a bench in a park, he heard this uproar of shouting from somewhere. As he walked up to there, he noticed that a group of people had gathered around a shop window and were on the new television in the shop watching a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and someone else, and were really cheering for the same. Watching this, he slowly, instantly got an idea for a script of a movie, and using the rest of the money, picking up a pen and a few papers, he sat down, and it is said that for more than 24 hours straight, he wrote the entire script for a movie idea that he had. Armed with that script, he went back to all the studios offering his services as an actor as well as the script. Now, a lot of studios kept saying, you're not an actor, you have a deformity, you're not a writer, you've never written till now. Until finally, a couple of studios started taking an interest in the script, and they offered him about $250,000 to buy the script. But this guy had just one rule, that he doesn't care how much money would get paid as long as he gets to be the protagonist, the actor in that. And again, the studios went back to the same old story. That can't be you. It has to be somebody that's pretty much good on screen. So no way. And he kept going back and he kept going back and did not give in until finally there was one studio that was so fed up that they said, okay, we're going to give you $35,000, make the film. We don't really care how you make the film. And he picks up that money and he goes back, and the first thing he does is to stand outside the tavern waiting for the guy that bought his dog. And when he decided and he found a guy and he decided to want to buy the dog back, obviously, a dog for which he actually got $25, and the other person, once he realized that this guy would go to any extent for the dog, he ended up paying almost up to $15,000 for the same dog, and a small part in that movie. The dog is in the movie, and so is the man that actually bought the dog. And this film, which was done with measly less than $50,000, this film that was supposed to not launch anywhere, not go anywhere, and where he would never have been an actor because of the deformity he had, this film went on to gross $2 million, won so many Oscar awards and so many nominations that with 5 sequels to it, it launched the career of Sylvester Stallone, an actor who today is one of the most known action heroes in the Hollywood industry. Today, when Stallone is asked that what made you keep going back, what kept your motivation levels high, what told you go back and stay and stick on and don't move forward, not to let go, and he said, I just had the dream, I had the passion, and I stuck to my goal. Always, for each and every one of us, go back, and I want you to think about that time when you really stayed put, when you did not give up, when your motivation and energy levels have always stayed high. And it has been the times when we've had something that we wanted to achieve, when we had a goal that we aspired for, when we had a dream that we really wanted to reach. That is when our motivational levels have always stayed high. The cyclical relationship between goals and motivation. The higher we are motivated, the more that we can set goals, and the more we reach our goals, the more motivated we get, and so on and so forth. This relationship and understanding this relationship will help each and every one of us choose to set the right goals so that our motivation levels can stay high. There is a cyclical relationship between goals, the inspiration that the goals provide, the action that we take, and the motivation that we feel to achieve these particular goals. Having said that, for a lot of us, motivation is both intrinsic as well as extrinsic. What does that mean? Yes, a lot of times it's our goals, our passion, our energy, our enthusiasm, a sense of achievement, a sense of social status, a sense of pride and feeling that there's been meaning in what we are really doing. All of these are intrinsic or internal motivating factors that push us to want to strive and stay motivated towards reaching our goals. Whereas there are also times when there are external factors, extrinsic factors that push us towards our goals. Sometimes it could be fear. It could be an external reward. It could be something that is threatening or an external danger. If we don't take this step forward and learn the next level of the course, then we might become redundant. The best example to look at intrinsic and extrinsic motivation is about someone who really wants to lose weight because they have a wedding to attend in a few months and they really want to look slimmer in that particular dress they chose for the wedding. Now, that is an extrinsic motivation that can be temporary. But when that is converted and when the person starts exercising, starts to enjoy the exercise, then that slowly converts into an intrinsic motivation. So, for us to constantly motivate ourselves, ask yourself, what is the goal? What is the passion that I want to reach? And which is why your motivation levels can stay high. And ask yourself that right now, is your motivation extrinsic or is it intrinsic? And if extrinsic, it's fine for now, but remember it to be temporary and see how to convert it into intrinsic motivation. Because an internally motivated individuals, that is when we keep staying and striving and continuing forward to achieve our goals.